If it was the vendor that did it, the vendor should be responsible for repairing it. I don't know your personal circumstance, but are you aware?
I've been dealing with it and it wasn't.
Okay.
How is it?
Christine's aware? Okay.
Wait a minute, we hire the HOA. The HOA hires the vendor. How is it the vendor's responsibility to pay us? I didn't hire the vendor. I hired my HOA.
The contract is between you and the vendor, not with us.
Yeah, but the vendor.
Yeah, but the same thing happened to me. I submitted a bill for $3,000, and they're saying, well, the vendor has to pay it.
The vendor does not have to pay it. Our contract
But I'm not getting paid. It's been 18 months.
Christine will follow up and ask the attorney for guidance on that one, but the vendor should be responsible for it. If the HOA is responsible, then what happens is the HOA would deduct from the vendor. I mean, that would be normal. If it's, I don't know the circumstance, but if it's something that was in fact caused by a vendor, Christine will follow up and get with the attorney on it.
I've been coming up with the same thing for like 3 times already. I'm getting ignored with the same issue. Thanks for bringing it up.
It's not your turn to speak. You've already had your speak
I don't know
once.
what this gentleman.
Are you yelling at me?
All right,
You're the one
we're gonna try and get the listen, if anybody has any personal issues with their specific property, just please email Christine, she'll take care of it. We want to get through the audience tonight because there's a lot of people here, and I'm losing track of who was next. So I think this gentleman was, and then we'll get back to you, Dan. Okay, go ahead.
Just a quick question. I've only been living here a few months, but are we responsible for fertilizing our yards, or is that the maintenance company as well? Thanks.
Okay, yeah. That's the landscape contract.
How about the white gloves?
On your personal property, it's you. On common areas, it's the HOA. Okay, what was that question?
White fly.
I came in late since I apologize, I was going to be here earlier. I understand that the board has taken the action we talked about at the last meeting generally, and it was noticed.
The landscape contract was rescinded, yes.
And I do have a question. The question that I've got is, I was late because I was talking with Raphael. I live in Greenwood, and he was driving around the neighborhood, and he stopped me, and I was with my daughter. And I was talking to him because I was distracted. My daughter fell, so I was late for you. But I do have a question about how many times he's going to be in the neighborhood. My understanding that it'll be 2 days that he's going to be in that neighborhood. Because what I don't want to have is, now that the board has taken action, it is doing what the owners want, I think. I don't want to get accosted every day, asked about things and interrupted. So if we can at least advise him about that.
Absolutely.
Just kind of follow through and be done.
I understand what you're saying, absolutely.
And I've got some other questions that relate to other issues other than landscaping. When is the next meeting regarding landscaping, or is that now done and it's
No. It's the third Monday of each month. However, I think we made it because of Thanksgiving. We changed it. I don't have it in front of me. It was the week before, I think. But I'll email you.
Is that on the last one, the landscaping committee meets?
Yeah, and it's on the webpage, but it's generally every third Monday.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. Back to this corner, lady.
First of all, I wish I had been asked to stop to, somebody to stop me and ask me how I'm feeling about the whole landscaping, thing. So that's to me,
The survey went out to everyone.
the survey went out to everyone, and I understand. I believe it's through the email, that I get an email to do it. My question was the same thing that she had. I mean, is this something that is a done deal and it's over? And I mean, the same thing that I said. I mean, I heard the same complaints, the same things. But we had the same complaints about the landscaping before, the landscaping company before. So to me, I feel like, you know what, everybody's going to have a complaint. Everybody's going to have something.
That is true.
I haven't had any problems with the landscaping company. So, I mean, I'm not sure why we're all here or what's going on.
You're here for information, because you want to know what transpires at a meeting. But all of this information is on the website. We try to tell people to utilize the website. If you don't utilize the website, you lose out.
I did try to get into the survey, and every time I went to the survey, it asked me for something else, and I couldn't get to the survey.
Did you call Christine and say, Christine, did
You know what, honestly,
I'm just saying that we
Yeah.
have resources, and if people don't use them, well, you know, what do you want us to do? You know what I'm
Is there
saying?
something more that we can do other than, what if I don't have access to the internet? What if I don't have, you know, that email? I mean, is there something we can do other than that?
That's right, she is here every day. And she'll put it in for you. But it is a done deal, to answer your question.
And how many complaints do you, I'm sorry, I keep on asking questions. How many complaints did you have? I mean, was it like an overwhelming amount of?
It was consistent, and he was on probation, and the consistency continued. So that is it.
Sharon?
Yeah, don't we have another vendor that's supposed to be doing fertilizing or
Yes.
taking care of weeds? Or is
The one that just got the contract to do the cuts.
was
Same
that
one.
from earlier this year?
They
They
started
started in May.
But I'm not seeing any difference with weeds.
You
Are they
won't,
supposed
you
to
won't,
be-
because they don't do weed application is not done during the summer months because it's too hot. Your weed
So then why is
application is gonna
Rafi
be.
getting linked for that then? That's not, yes, I've heard some people mention weeds and Rafi's not.
Well, weeds in the plant, there's a difference. Weeds in the plant beds, weeds in the buffer beds. Turf weeds are another contractor. Your plant beds, inside your plant beds, and,
Yeah,
right
I'm talking
around the
about
buffer,
that,
that's
I'm talking
the
about
only
the
weeds
grass.
that he's
I'm talking about
responsible
the
for.
grass in front of my house, in the back of my house, there's a lot of weeds. Now, I thought that that part was taken away from Rafi from earlier this year. And I'm not seeing any difference.
Well, you won't, as I said, you won't see a difference because there's not been a weed
I
application yet.
understand, so why is he being blamed for that, for weeds?
But it's not
Oh,
weeds,
my
weeds in the
God.
plant bed. Not turf, not turf, not turf.
So who's taking care of the turf?
I can clarify.
Okay.
Bradley had all three contracts when we got all of them.
That, I understand.
Now, since the new company has taken over, they haven't been able to treat the weeds yet because they got hired after it was too late. So the next time they're able to do a weed
November.
feed is November. They haven't done a weed feed yet. They can't. So in November, they'll do the first one, and you should start seeing a difference when they say around March.
It takes a little while. The turf has deteriorated over the past couple of years, so, you know, with the amount of weeds, it takes, you're not gonna see an instant. It'll start getting better, but it's gonna take a little while for the turf to totally get up to where you'd like it. You're not gonna get rid of all the weeds. You'll never get rid of all the weeds. But you can improve upon it. You're not gonna get rid of all the weeds. I can tell you.
Yeah, but you're not gonna have them dump all the fertilizer that kills the grass either, hopefully.
I'm sorry.
Just a quick question. Who's this new company that's gonna be coming in?
It's Tommy Brown.
And where do they live at?
Where they what?
Where do they live at?
I don't know.
I mean, so let me tell you, I called up Raphael, he showed my house like within a minute. And everything that he needed, they didn't get done. There was a yard that was.
Well, that's one of the advantages of having somebody that lives in the community. Yeah, they don't live in the community.
The point that I'm getting at is I called Raphael, he comes. If he comes, he
You're not supposed to call them first.
just do it, I got his number.
That's the same thing that I was talking about him, I was about the house in like 17
Manage the meeting, please, manage the meeting.
This gentleman over here wants to speak.
Young lady over here.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now that it's for, I don't attend every meeting, but so they come out and respond to them, because that's what the board set for. The board appointed a landscaping committee, and all of them had an opportunity to volunteer to be on it, myself included. I didn't attend, and I didn't go on to the meeting, but I trust what the landscaping committee has done because they're doing the due diligence. They made a recommendation to this board, and this board voted on it. They responded to a survey, and they voted on it. For you to come in at the last minute and not know the details, not know the background, and not trust what they're doing is very problematic for me. I have confidence in them because they took the time. I have confidence in the landscaping committee because they took the time. And if I don't, then there are resources and avenues available to me. I can join the committee, I can run with this board, we can get a quorum together, we can vote this board out, but that's what you do, you follow the rules. What we're doing now, second guessing, You wanna look at my property? It's crap. My landscaping is crap. I look at the pictures of when I moved into my home, it was gorgeous, it was green. It is crap
Yep.
right now. I voted accordingly because I'd like to see a change. Maybe the new company won't do as good a job, and we have the right to vote them out. But I think it's disrespectful. This board gives their time, they're not paid. I am really happy that they do the job that they do. And if I'm unhappy, I'm gonna run. Please don't make me run.
I need your name.
And when are they gonna thank you? Thank you. Push it when they come.
I'm really here for the new business part, but on this topic, obviously you guys have already made a decision. What I want to know is, what clauses are in the new contract? If this new company comes in and screws up the first 2 months, are we stuck for a year?
There's a 30-day with or without pause. 30
30
days
days
with or
notice.
without pause,
Okay.
okay? But you also have to understand that when you have a new company, it always takes a few months for them to get acclimated and get into a system. So you really gotta give them probably 6 months. I think if you're having severe problems and within 3 months, you gotta sit down and talk. But if you're still having those problems after 6 months, it's time to go.
Is it possible to put somewhere on your agenda to send out a survey in 4 months that they've been here and see how they're?
Yeah, absolutely. We plan on using the surveys, absolutely. We should do it quarterly, you know, on all the vendors. Yes.
Hi, first I'd like to again start by thanking you guys for the time. I don't envy you your job or challenge. I do want to kind of pose a few comments or questions just for everybody to think about. When I sit here, I see there's a lot of pointing fingers back and forth. There's a lot of content and discontent, whether you like the landscaping or not. We've gone past beyond that, right? I think it's our job, like we said, to hold and support our board of directors, hold them accountable, and hold the new landscaping company accountable for their actions, for what we pay them to do. Okay, we all pay a hefty premium every month, and they're supposed to do the job. So to just answer one of the questions you guys had earlier, the dues are going to go up. When I hear that, it doesn't register properly in my mind.
What?
We are accepting
What?
pride. No, I apologize. It's my mistake. I thought I understood the landscaping. Okay, I apologize. And let me, and I was getting down to that. So our premiums will not go up. However, I do believe there's a study that we're a little bit higher of what we pay for. I didn't do the study. To what we're really getting. But anyway, let's go back to the landscape, and now we're going to charge us more. How much more are they going to charge us a month? $2,000. Okay. It's not going to break the bank. So what percentage is that? Just real quick.
What we're paying right now
Is that 20% of the fee?
That's 10%, that's 20%.
about 20%. How much it was? 35?
Okay. So we really need to, whether you like Rafael or not, whether he did a good job or not, whether he responded to your phone calls or not, I think personally he's a great guy. However, my yard doesn't look to the standards that they need to be what I paid for. What we need to make sure is we hold them accountable. And if we don't, like you said, in 30 days, we need to keep them in check. Because we work hard for our money. Unless you're rich and you are a trust fund baby, good for you. I am not. A second point that I wanted again to bring up to you guys, and I'm just trying to bring this down to dummy it up for all of us, especially for me. All of this is really a lack of communication, number one, not to their fault. They do everything they can to reach out to you guys. When I hear, this is my first time, when I hear, this is my first time I just moved in, that's okay. This is my first time, I've been here 7 years. You think that's acceptable? No. Get involved, people. Let's get involved. This is all for the betterment of our community. When you drive in here, this community is going to look that much better because you're going to get involved. Whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? But I think we need to get down to the root cause of the problems here. And in my opinion, is our bylaws. Our bylaws were made by somebody else. The fact that we need 80% quorum for something to be changed, it is ridiculous. So let's make, we need to change that, bottom line. If it's not working for us, what do? What do we do? If something is not working, a system you have with your kid or work, you change it, right? Processes are made to be changed. So that's all we need to do. That's all we need to do. It's simple. It's
Change
just,
also you need it for.
we just
We
need
change
to,
anything you
yeah,
need
and
it
so
for.
what I suggested to Don is, listen, we can pass, you guys can vote on, let's just all try to do the right thing. And the matter of fact, where we can go knock on people's doors as a president or whoever, however you guys want to decide to do it, and say, listen, this is what we're here for, yes, no, move on. And try to get that, to make our bylaws better. That's all I'm saying. But I think that's really the root cause, so.
Thank you. I guess on the day, I think that the board here and our meetings should start following the Robert's Rule of Order, which is what they're supposed to do. And that would settle a lot of the length of the meetings. That's what they're supposed to do.
Well, I will say that you see how the house is divided. How the 600 residents are divided. If you came to the last meeting, everybody supported Broward. You came now, and you can see some people are supporting RG. This is only one issue which is also demanding so much of consideration. And board and the the landscaping committee went through all the considerations and all the history and the complaints and the work orders. This decision is not made overnight. It was so difficult. This is the only one issue that the house is divided. We tried our best to satisfy everybody. And you can see that you cannot satisfy everybody, no matter what you do.
Thank you. Come here, we're going to let this lady in the back hold her hand. Fran? I think it's Fran.
I want to just emphasize about several of the things that came up, mainly has to do with accountability. When we get a new company in, you may want to contact them yourself, no. To prove that anybody's doing their job, we need accountability and it has to be documented. So that means Christine is our representative. If you have an issue, whether it's email, stop by the office, give her a phone call, you have to let things go through her. Otherwise, we're never going to know whether or not the new company is doing what it's supposed to. Because if everybody is contacting them themselves, whether they give you a card or not, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. And that's the only way you're really going to find out what's going on.
Thank you.
Very good. On Fridays, that's why I got the card. When I come home on Fridays at 6 o'clock at night, nobody's here. Nobody's here. Saturdays,
Wait a minute, didn't he speak already? Didn't he speak already?
Okay. We have another question in the back. Thank you.
I'm going to ask a question for him, because he already asked a question. And I'm sure everyone would appreciate this answer. What is the responsibility of our lawn company? What is he supposed to cut, to kill, if it's weeds? What is his responsibility? Because he has no clue. I'm sure most people in here have no clue. I get emails from me saying that he's responsible for killing the weeds on my papers, yet they've been there for 3 months. So, what is he responsible for? What is he not?
Responsibility of the landscape vendor, and this is something that the committee has spoke of.
It's called lawn maintenance, to make sure it was good. Lawn maintenance.
There's a difference. Well, right now, with the new contract, you're talking currently, we have 3 vendors. Moving into January, it's gonna change, okay? So currently right now, Palm Beach Broward is responsible for the turf maintenance. That would be your grass. That would be the weed control, the fungicide, etc. Obviously, there's certain times of the year when these applications are done. Okay? Irrigation guy, he's responsible for the irrigation in common areas and yards. The lawn maintenance, landscape maintenance contract is responsible for mowing, edging, trimming, spraying of the weeds on your lanai and your driveway, weeding of your landscape beds, trimming of palm trees monthly for hanging palm fronds up to 20 feet per month, and red ant piles in common areas, and responsible for the lifting of hardwood trees up to 8 feet 4 times a year. And